practice, practice, practice. That's the way we grow, discovering how God speaks to us and how He shares His thoughts with us. So here's an activation for you to do with yourself. Often it's helpful to do it by yourself first so that you can have the experience and you can actually share with your children what God showed you. So the first thing we always need to do with our children and with ourselves is to just quiet our minds, our thoughts, and our feelings. So we just tell them to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And then let's listen. Listen to the sounds you can hear outside. Listen to the sounds inside, in the room where you are. Where is God for you right now? Asking this question helps your children connect with God. We use our imaginations to connect with God. He uses our imaginations to talk to us. So it's helpful to activate their imaginations in this still, quiet space, to connect with God, to help them to picture Him. You can ask them, where is Jesus for you right now? Is He in front of you? Is He behind you? Is He above you? Is He below you? Is He inside you? Is He all around you? Where is Jesus for you right now? Ask Jesus this question. Jesus, if there was any place in the world right now that we could meet, where would it be? Just spend a minute in quietness and stillness, listening to Jesus and see what He tells you. When you know where Jesus would like to take you for a special meeting, ask Him these questions. Jesus, why did you choose this place? What is so special about this place? Jesus, what do you want to show me about this place and why it's so special to you? Jesus, what do you want to say to me in this special place that you have chosen to meet me? When Jesus has shown you the place and answered all your questions, grab a piece of paper and draw what He's shown you. So when your children show you the picture that they have drawn, encourage them to ask Jesus those questions. Encourage them to ask Him the questions and not you. And in that way, you can develop their relationship with God and their conversations with Him. Here's another question you can ask Jesus. Jesus, if there was one game you would like to play with me today, what would it be? And once you know what that game is, you can ask further questions like, Jesus, why did you choose this game? Jesus, why is this game special to you? What do you want to show me or tell me or give me when we play this game together? Jesus, where would you like to play this game with me? Jesus, what is it that makes you happy playing this game with me? Or, Jesus, how does it make you feel playing this game with me? Just a tip about questions to ask your children. Always make sure that the questions are as open-ended as possible. Try not to suggest anything by the questions you ask about what they've drawn. Try not to suggest anything that you see or any of your interpretations of what they have drawn or shared with you. It's quite hard to keep your questions open-ended when something appears obvious to you that God is trying to share with your child. And often what He is showing them or sharing with them or giving them is something quite different to what you might be seeing in their picture or in whatever it is that God has shared with them. Which is why it's so important to keep your questions open-ended. Like, so tell me about this drawing. What is going on in this picture? Can you tell me something about the colors in this picture? Where is Jesus in this picture? Where are you? How do you feel? What is happening? What is this in your picture? And if your children are really young, it's helpful to annotate their drawings and write down what it is that they tell you. All these things that the Father and Jesus share with your children, all His thoughts that He shares with them, are precious. So it's really important if you can keep them, keep the pictures. And a good way to do that is buy them a journal. It's helpful to date them. And keep these journals safe because God's words to us are precious. They guide us. They are treasures. They are more precious to us than all the jewels in the whole world. And they'll always remind your children, they'll always remind you, if you keep a journal, of what God told you, what God shared with you in times when you really needed to hear His voice. They will remind you that God is always speaking to you, and they'll remind you of the truth. They'll remind you at times when all the other voices are telling you something else. They'll remind you of what God has said. And what He says is what's most important. What He says brings life. And what He says stands.